Welcome to my grow room, you guys. My name is Roxana and I am the person behind Soil and Margaritas. My garden is located in central Indiana. I garden in Zone 5. And this is where I start a lot of flowers and vegetables from seed. I am quickly running out of room. And I have things that need to be pot up. I have things that are germinating. I have things that are loving this space. This room faces the south side of the house and my windows get plenty of sunshine during the day, and that makes this room very warm. And I think that's one of the keys why my seedlings grow super quick and very strong. The heat and the light from my LED lights that I have set up here on these two shelving units are the best thing that they can get. I am about 2 to 3 weeks before my official last frost date. April 25th is when here in central Indiana where I live, where most of the places where I check, they say that April 25th is when my last frost date is, but in reality, I wait until the beginning of May just to be sure when I take everything outside, all of my warm loving plants. Other things that love the cool weather are already outside. Some things are hardening off, but this is the room where everything grows. This is the room where I make a lot of my YouTube videos. If you have been following along, this is basically the background that you see. I love this wall. I absolutely love it. All of the houseplants that I have there are doing amazing. I am not the best houseplant mama, but I do my best. And these guys are making it here. They have been here for at least 2 winters. And if they are surviving, that means that they are very hardy plants. A lot of you asked about that moss piece that I have in most of my videos in the background, and that piece is just doing amazing. A lot of you have questions about if I water the piece, what is the maintenance, how often do I feed it? I don't do anything to it, you guys. This is preserved moss, meaning that it was alive once, but it is preserved to stay this way, to keep this color, and I don't do anything other than coming here regularly and just kind of dusting it a little bit. But I have to be very careful because the hot glue that I use, it's just holding the bottom of the pieces, and the piece is just looking amazing. I have no complaints whatsoever on this piece, and I love it, and it just makes me happy. That green against the color, the dark brown color against that wall, it just pops really nicely. And if you guys are wondering about the color of that wall, it is Espresso by Sherwin-Williams, and I just love how everything just comes together. I have a couple of shelves that are holding all of my terracotta and things and whatnot that I have with houseplants, and it looks great. I absolutely love this space. This is my space. This is where I create. This is where I grow. This is where I take care of my seedlings. And I am very lucky to have this little corner in one of my rooms where I can just give to growing seedlings and growing houseplants. This room isn't that huge, but I do use it, and I definitely use every little corner that I can. Underneath that table, I have my trash can, and I have some soil in the bag, and I have just things situated where I need them so that I don't have to be running around looking in places for them. This room can definitely get messy, but having everything next to where I need them, it's just a huge thing. And this room can get very bright, you guys. Those 2 shelving units that I have there have plenty of LED lights, and they definitely can make this room bright. A lot of you guys ask about how long my LED lights stay during the day. They are on timers, so thankfully I don't have to do anything. I don't have to come in here in the morning or at night to turn them on and off. The timers turn these lights on at 7 a.m. and they turn them off at 8:30 p.m. So they stay on during all that time during the day. And so far, I mean, they're looking amazing. This is my 4th year growing flowers and vegetables from seed, and everything seems to be doing great. As you can see, I have an overhead fan over here where here and there I turn it on and off. But I also have a small space fan that I use for keeping it here and there, and I move that constantly. So this room gets plenty of airflow because that overhead fan is just very strong. I don't have it on at all times, just when I'm here or when I can remember. Sometimes at night, it's just kind of on and off randomly. I have quite a few of watering cans that I use. I don't have a good access up here in the 2nd floor for water. So I'm constantly going downstairs to get some fresh water, regular water from the tap, nothing special. And I have all of my bootstrap containers here in the corner where I collect them, and whenever I need to use them, they're there. But I also have a bunch of them in my garage and downstairs. So I have plenty of things here to use for growing my seedlings. This room gives me plenty of room to grow everything that I want, you guys. Well, everything that I can fit in these 2 places, in these 2 shelving racks. The top of that shelving rack, and that's my project today, that top piece over there was an extension that my husband did the 1st year that I started from seed, because I was running out of room and I needed just an extra shelf. So he did some sort of cage up there with some wood, and I have a couple of strip lights. They're definitely not enough, so I ordered some more lights that I'm going to attach up there to make that extra shelf very usable. And it's very tall. The space that I have up there could be used for things that are already tall and almost ready to be outside, so I am definitely going to fix that as well. And I did have one bottom shelf on the unit closer to that dark wall at the very bottom, which is where I have my ginger and my elephant ears right now. I used to have 2 lights there. They were the real thing. They were grow lights that I found at the Facebook Marketplace. But one of the things that I didn't know when I purchased those was that they had the purple coloring going, and I just do not enjoy that. It's just a personal choice. I do not like the purple tone color that I get from those lights. So I was with them for 2 years, but this year was definitely the year for me to get rid of those. And like I said, I ordered a bunch more of LED strip lights, and I am going to set up that bottom shelf right now because it doesn't have any lights. And my ginger and other things that are getting really tall are definitely needing that extra shelf. Things are growing beautifully here, you guys. I have a good 3 to 4 weeks maybe before I can take everything outside, and things are definitely growing and running out of room. I have a few things that I need to put up. I have a few things that are still germinating, and they are loving it here. I am very happy this year with how everything is doing. Things have been germinating. I don't have a lot of fails this year. Every year there's always something that I struggle with as far as growing from seed. But this year, things seem to be doing really well. And some things are even surprising me, like this snail vine that I got to germinate. I have 4 of those seedlings there, and they are doing just quite well. I'm very happy about those. I'm super excited because I couldn't get them to germinate last year. And my peppers right here, they're definitely needing more space. So those extra shells that I'm going to get that are definitely a little bit taller than most are going to be the perfect spot for these peppers. And my geraniums are also in need for some room. I cannot raise those lights over here in the shelf anymore for them, and they are definitely struggling there. They're touching the lights. I definitely could use the extra shelf that I have, and I know they're going to be Very, very happy. Things are growing, you guys. I know that a lot of you are starting a lot of things from seed as well. This may be your first year. Some of you obviously have more experience than myself, but things are happening. Things are definitely getting ready to be outside. I just know that this year is just going to be amazing for all of our gardens, and I cannot wait. A lot of these plants, like these petunias right here, require a lot of water. They definitely have been outgrowing their space very, very quickly. And they are loving it here, you guys. I just love how these guys are doing. This is my first time trying petunias from seed, and they are just doing amazing. I cannot wait to see how they do outside. I have plenty of them, but definitely next year I'm going to be getting a few more varieties, maybe some doubles. I'm not sure quite yet, but if you have any recommendations for petunia varieties that I can get and where I can get them, let me know, because I can definitely use the help in spotting a few more varieties that I should definitely have in my garden next year. A lot of these things that I have here, I have been bottom watering, like all of these coleus and alyssum. And I do that for two reasons. One, because I don't really want to disturb the top of the seedlings, all of the soil. And two, because if I keep the top of the soil of my seedlings wet for long periods of time, those are the perfect circumstances for fungus gnats to develop. So the main reason, especially for plants that are already big, the main idea is just to keep the roots that need water wet, and everything else, like the top of the soil, can stay dry. And most of the time, most of my seedlings are just like that. They don't really need to show the top super wet. And that has been working for me. As of right now, I don't really think that I have any fungus gnats. I think that yesterday I spotted one. That just means they're coming. And from having all of these seedlings here for this period already, since the beginning of February, end of January, I don't think that it's that bad. I know that a lot of you guys complain about fungus gnats, but if you guys are keeping the top of your seedlings, the top of the soil wet, then you probably need to rethink about how much water you're really giving these seedlings. And again, the roots are really the main part that needs to keep moisture on. And that would be my one tip for you guys for today. Most of the time, I leave the lights at the height that they are. Most of the times, I just keep them at the highest they can get. And what I do is that I use the trays that I already have, empty trays, and I just flip them upside down, and I use those as a step to get my main tray closer to the lights. And that is easier for me to do than having to move the lights up and down as I need them, because a lot of these seedlings grow in different ways. Some of them are really tall really quickly, and some others are just kind of slow. So having to manage that one set of lights for everything at the same level will be just really hard. So I just use the trays to kind of help things get closer to the lights if they need it, and that has been working for me. And I know that a lot of people use books, a lot of people use anything that they have, even small containers underneath the trays. So whatever you're using, just make sure that it's strong enough to hold the weight of the tray. Sometimes you just kind of have to figure out little things like this and how to make it work for yourself. I turn off most of these lights here whenever I'm in this room and I'm working. I'm either potting up or starting seeds, because the LED lights can get really strong, and you know, I don't want to be looking at them or having all of that brightness in my eyes. I just got something in the mail that I ordered from Longfield Gardens. I told myself that I was done. I ordered a couple of dahlia tubers and also some gladioli. Let me show you the gladiola that I got. I got 2 bags of these, and each bag has, I believe, 15 gladioli. Look at that. These are so cute, nice and healthy looking. They're nice and firm. So these are a burgundy color. This one is called espresso. I guess we're going with the theme here with the wall and everything. These are espresso gladioli, and I tried this gladiola, not this variety, but I tried growing gladioli 2 years ago, and I got some beautiful blooms. And I started them 2 years ago. I started them ahead of time indoors, and I'm gonna show you how I'm going to do that. And they develop beautifully. So last year I didn't get any, I didn't start any, but I have 30 pieces here, and I am going to do a bunch of them in containers and also in some raised beds. We'll see how they look, but that is that. And also, well, I'm going to open this right away. I also got some dahlia tubers, and 2 or 3 years ago I ordered a bunch of tubers, not from Longfield Gardens, not from this company, from a different company. And I ordered a total of 12 tubers for one variety that was called Breakout. And not one single tuber was true to the name. And unfortunately, I don't buy from that company anymore. But I ordered the same variety, Breakout, from Longfield Gardens. We'll see. Fingers crossed that I get some blooms. Let me show you a little close up. Tubers are not bad. I mean, there's a bunch of these little guys. These are slightly broken. I don't think that I'll get anything from these guys here. There is one main here that is nice and attached. Everything else is just kind of questionable, but that's, you know, they're a big company. I don't know, I don't think that they do everything in-house. I'm not really sure, but hopefully this guy will get me some beautiful blooms. This is a second tuber, or second crown of tubers. Okay, well, this one is attached. These look like this could be very nicely. I don't see any growth happening anywhere, but I'm going to put this in containers right away. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get them in smaller containers, and I'm just going to cover half of the tuber with soil, because I want to see if they get any sprouts. I don't want to be putting anything outside that I don't see any growth. And I ordered a total of 4 tubers. And if you have purchased tubers from growers, you'll know the difference. Like, you will see these chunks from big companies that they just send you, you know, these things like this. And then you'll notice, you know, like things that you will get from the growers are a lot nicer, but obviously you pay a little bit more. This one is not bad. The thing with this is that if the neck is broken, like this guy, then they're not really viable anymore. But again, I'm not going to even divide. I'm not even going to try to do any divisions here. I'm just going to place this whole thing in one container. Hopefully I get something. And I guess this is the 4th one. Okay. I guess this is my 4th tuber. Wish me luck, you guys. Wish me luck. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully, you know, I get at least 4 plants out of that. Yeah, this guy has nothing else on it. Yeah. So let me show you how I'm going to do the gladioli. Okay, so this is, I have only done this once 2 years ago, and they work great for me, you guys, because these guys take, I feel like, a long time to sprout in the ground. So let me show you what I'm going to need. Basically, we're going to be pre-sprouting. If you think about dahlias, we are going to be doing the same thing here with these corms, the gladioli corms. These are the corms. And you can see right here, this pointy part is what goes up. And the flat part is where the roots will come from. So whenever you're placing them either directly in the soil because you're planting them, or if you're pre-sprouting them, you just place them like this. And this is how we're going to place them in a very, very deep container. Now, why deep? Because once the sprouts start coming from the corms, they're going to be tilting. Ideally, I would like to have something that is a lot deeper than this, but this is what I have right now. I might actually go to the thrift store and see if there's something like glass that is like really, really tall. I'm not really sure if I could find anything. But as soon as I place these guys here, they're all going to be pre-sprouting in a week or two. They need a warm place, a warm, bright place. And by the time that we are ready to plant these guys outside, they'll be nice and big. And we're still going to plant them whenever they are ready to be transplanted outside. We're still going to place these guys outside as deep as we would have with the regular corm. So if this was the soil level, we're definitely going to plant these guys about 5 to 6 inches deep. Ideally, I would like to do this in one container, but I don't have a container that is really big and deep like that. So here's the corm. This is the flat part, the round bottom part, and the pointy part goes up. And you can see in some of them, you can even see the roots where they were growing in the ground. And I'm very, very happy with these corms because they are nice and firm. They're nice and healthy looking. Look at that color. Isn't that cool? And ideally, you will want to do this about 3 to 4 weeks before you're ready to transplant them outside. These guys do like warm weather. So now that I have both of my corms here facing the right way up, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give them room temperature water. And I don't really need to cover them completely with water, but they need to have plenty of water here so they can start sprouting. They will be here for a few weeks, and while they are here, I need to make sure that I keep the water nice and fresh. So every couple of days or so, I will be coming here and changing the water for fresh water. And hopefully here in about a week or so, I can give you an update on anything growing here. We're not really promised that every single corm is going to sprout. We're just doing this so to get ahead of the game. And a lot of people do this ahead of time. They do it on a weekly basis, 3 to 4 weeks before they're ready to transplant them outside, so they can have a succession of blooms, and they still, you know, by the time that they are planting their sprouted gladiolas, they still continue to put some outside, and that way they have a longer season for gladiolas to bloom. But this is how I'm going to keep them in here. They're going to be in this room, and I'll probably have them next to my my shelves, my growing shelves. If I have the space on one of my shelves, I'll keep them there. If not, just right next to it is fine, as long as they have light and warmth. They will start coming up, and fingers crossed, we'll get to have some gorgeous, gorgeous blooms. I hope that this video was helpful, you guys. I hope that maybe inspire you to get out there and start a few seeds, or to go and put up a few of your seedlings. Thank you for being here, you guys, and until the next time.